I think you guys deserve a little bit of an update. Um, Whether you're watching this live or on the replay, or just give it a minute. Just give it a minute for maybe a few more people to sort of come in. Have a bit of a chat, see where we're all at. How's my sound? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me alright. Some wonderful little classical tunes. Let's get into it. Alright. Alright, gotta look a treat, don't I? What a day. Look at an absolute treat. Alright, let's turn down that music, shall I? Alright, hi, hello, and welcome one and all. A very impromptu stream this is. Let me just organize my screens a little bit before I get into this a little bit more. I think it'd be about the best way around this. As we hopefully get a few more subs come in and see why I'm going improv live at this time of night at just after 7 o'clock here, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Many of you may have seen that I tried to cover the Senate inquiry earlier today. I know I shouldn't feel guilty, but I kind of do because there's quite a lot of views on that live, and I really, really appreciate the interest in it. And I really feel bad, and I shouldn't, that there wasn't anything happening today. In fact, I just looked, and there's still going on about the NTIS. Anyway, I'm not sure if you guys caught the end of the stream, but I pleaded with you guys to go and have a chat to the Greens. Look, let's put it this way. I had a chat with a coalition, a senator from the coalition. Okay, won't say any more than that, who that person is. And at that point in time, so this is a bit of a confession, if you like, but I think understandable one. Before I said what I said at the end of the last stream, and he gave me the tip off that it looks like the Greens have done a deal with Labor. Well, on the back of that, I thought it was justified that let's have a last-ditch roll. Let's go for the last roll. Let's encourage as many of you wonderful people to engage with as many Green senators as possible before this goes to vote tomorrow. So make no mistake, this therapeutic goods bill will go to vote tomorrow. However, of course, I go off and I have a sleep after being exhausted, after being alive for nearly 5 hours or whatever on the last stream, and wake up to realize that what that senator had told me, the media were well and truly all over. And what they were all over was a deal that the Greens had done with the Labor Party. So, as a lot of these things go, I guess that it's already decided before it's voted upon. But it's a right bloody mess. So, what is the deal? What does the deal mean? Look, I've only got the basics, as a lot of people have at the moment. And what it means is that the prescription model as we know it, or what was planned, is kind of scrapped. On the surface, that might be good news, but let's not confuse that with the personal importation scheme that a lot of vapors were used to using. In other words, being able to import their own nicotine. that's not going to be back on the table, it appears, at this stage. What they're saying is a vapor would be able to walk into a chemist, um, any basic chemist around Australia, or chemist that chooses to stock vaping products. Now, what do we know about what chemists stock or whatever, as far as vaping products go? Well, we do know the Chemist Warehouse have done a deal with Liber, who make Nika Vape. We do know, well, at least I do know, that they're not amazing products. In fact, they're way overpriced and ridiculous. What does this mean for the vaping industry? Well, it still means that anything outside of a chemist is still illegal to sell, only within a chemist, but no prescription. There's a lot to sink in here because they're classing it as a behind or under the counter product. Now, I want us to think about when we go to a chemist and what products are behind the counter that aren't under the governance of the TGA or TGA approved products. I can't think of any. So, for the first time in history, we would have a consumer product that is somehow been deemed as a non-approved TGA product, non-approved therapeutic product, which is an oxymoron. Which is an oxymoron because it's either therapeutic or it's not. If it's non-approved, it's not a therapeutic product. I don't care how you stack that argument. Until it's an approved product for therapeutic use, it is not a therapeutic product. It is a consumer product. Sure, just like Diet Coke, just like low salt, low whatever, GI and whatever, they might have some health benefits as consumer products. As far as having a no smoke, smokeless vaping device, obviously has some benefits to the consumer, and really has found itself in a bit of a mess. But wait, I know you want more, and there's more, and I will try and get to your questions and comments in the chat shortly. Pharmacy Guild have just come out with a letter. Maybe I should just find it on my phone and read it out for you. So, you would think Labour Party have done a deal with the Greens, because Greens don't want prohibition, that they would have worked this out with the chemists first before sealing this deal and sprouting it all over the headlines of the main news channels tonight and in the media. You would have thought that they would have worked out that all the chemists would be on board with this plan. Well, look, maybe it might be a convenient deal with Nika Vape and Chemist Warehouse. However, the Pharmacy Guild of Australia have absolutely, well, let me just read their media statement. A bill currently before Parliament to change the current medicine schedule for nicotine-containing vapes for pharmacists only. So basically just letting you know what it's in regards to. It's basically headed, we're not tobacconists or garbologists. It's a pretty damning headline, right? The result of the proposed change is the nicotine-containing vapes could be available for purchase through a community pharmacy without the requirement for a valid prescription. The Guild strongly opposes this proposal. Pharmacists are healthcare professionals who dispense medication that provides a proven therapeutic benefit. Remember what I was saying there before? A proven therapeutic benefit. No vaping product has been approved by the Therapeutic Goods Administration based on its safety, efficacy, or performance. No vaping product is listed on the Australian Register of Therapeutic Products, also known as a TARGI. Vaping has long-term patient harms. Well, not really, but anyway, including cancer. No, it doesn't. It never caused cancer. Lung scarring, well, very, very limited and not really. And nicotine addiction, no, it's not addiction, nicotine dependence. There is limited evidence to support the use of vaping products for smoking cessation and nicotine dependence. No, there's lots of evidence, but nonetheless, the Senate's expectation that community pharmacies become vape retailers and vape garbage collectors is insulting. The Senate is about to make a bad decision. We urge the Senate to change course. Pretty strong words. The Senate is about to make a bad decision. This is the Pharmacy Guild. This is the largest collaboration, if you like, of pharmacy stores, independent pharmacies across Australia that form part of this group known as the Pharmacy Guild. I think it's roughly quite a few thousand pharmacies anyway. So this is big, right? This is really big. Everyone wants to keep illegal vapes out of the hands of kids and teenagers. Yeah, of course. But the Senate wants pharmacists to stock vapes next to children's Panadol, cold and flu medicine, and emergency contraception. There you go. That's the end of the statement. So here we are. There's a deal being done between Labor and the Greens to say, oh, no, we won't. Don't worry about having the prescription model. It is no prescription required. Walk into a chemist. The vapors can buy the vapes at most likely at a ridiculous lot higher price, probably on average 3 to 4 times higher price than what most vapors are used to buying from their normal vape shops or normal vape retailers across Australia, as they have for the last 5, 10, 15 years, right? And expect us just to walk in, and there's some young person in a chemist in a white shirt. You're going to walk up and say, yeah, just looking for, stainless steel coil, go on my recurve RDA. Normally operate about 60 watts on a variable wattage Vapresso Gen X or something like that. What do you think that person will do? Seriously. You'd look at you like you've just fallen off a spaceship and just landed in a store. You just would not have a chance in hell of getting the education into these chemists for a start. And we've already seen it. We've already seen it. They're flat out understanding what the basics are with vaping. They really, really do lack it. However, no doctor required, apparently, part of this Labor Greens deal. Just walk in, have a chat to your pharmacist, let them know that you need to stop smoking, and happy days, grab a vape. Apparently this is what they're going to vote for as part of the deal tomorrow. What do you guys think? I think it's I think we're not going any further with this. I think it's fraught with some major issues. But let's say hi and hello to just Dave, Aileen, End of Musings, Scuffed Andy. I see Mick out there, RBMK, a bastard. Yeah, a few good people. And for those watching on the replay, hi and hello. Now, so I didn't even introduce myself. I think I just barged in here. Of course, I'm Pippa. Pippa's star. I'm here. Just having a full day of it. Thank God I had a little sleep this afternoon. What a day. Can't wait to buy an overly priced, flavorly handicap vape from Chemist Warehouse. It's a bit of sarcasm there. The Australian government used legislation in an attempt towards gaining an exclusive vaping monopoly. And that's what it boils down to, doesn't it? That's what it absolutely boils down to. Here we are with an industry of legitimate, legal vape industry before black market came along, an industry that rose because no big pharmaceutical company could or would ever come up with a product that was with this life-saving technology, as simple as it may be, or as complex as they can be, to help us remain smoke-free. No big tobacco company. Sure, they had the plans. They had the plans for decades before Honlick in 2003 went, oh yeah, I could do this and let's go commercial. Without Honlick, there would be a lot more people who would not have had as many years on this earth as they've been managed to enjoy. We've got just over 1.2 million, 120 million worldwide vapors. We've just got over 1.7 million vapors across Australia who have found a way, or at least are on the way to becoming smoke-free thanks to this consumer product, this healthier option. Soon, if this bill passes tomorrow, I may be thrown off. This video might be ticked off, or might be told to remove it or whatever, just purely for saying that it is healthier than smoking. And I think that's very wrong too. Cannot advertise a product and all that sort of thing. So all that is still in play, but we're talking, and we can't import flavors. There'll be still limited flavors under this new deal. So nothing changes much other than the fact that you won't have to, there's just one less stop to a doctor to get a prescription and then to go to a pharmacy if this goes through. And yeah, that does bring up another good point out there, Dave, is that the only big tobacco products, because of course big tobacco is trying to hook a whole new generation on nicotine with vapes, apparently, if you believe everything that Mr. Butler carries on with, which is an absolute falsehood, and I think we all know that. If you don't, well, you do now. Big tobacco products, vaping products, have never really existed in Australia. There might have been like a 1 in 100,000 people who are maybe flying in and flying out, might have had I don't know, maybe a jewel or an IQOS or something, but Jesus, rare as rocking horse poop. For a big tobacco product to ever be in the hands of an Australian vaping consumer, because vaping was created by vapors, for vapors, by a vaping industry that did not target children, did not target teens, was targeting adults only, who, for the most part, for 99.9% part, wanted to quit smoking. And, so there is that. So now we have a situation where the only products, and there's more products linked or supplied by big tobacco, either highly linked to big tobacco. I know two major companies, keep them nameless, but I know two major companies. You don't have to do too much research to find out who they are. Linked to BAT and also linked to Philip Morris, but there is Philip Morris seller Vive also on the legal to sell, non-approved but okay to sell list as far as the TGA is concerned. This would never have happened. And most vapors are not fans of big tobacco. I don't think many people are. We would prefer to have this industry on our own. But look, nonetheless, as long as people aren't dying from smoking, I think that is the main goal, right? I think that to pull the rug under vaping industry, which in Australia, and I know a lot of places across the world, is more of like a mum and pup stores, small businesses. People are basically with their homes, maybe putting their equity against their homes to open up their first small business, maybe hiring half a dozen people or more. Yeah, that happened a few hundred times all over Australia, and a few hundred times, a lot of those are now gone because of an unenforced, uncontrollable black market, which 92% of the Australian vaping market end up diverting to. And of course, we see firebombing, we see the results fully supplied, the use being supplied. They're only 4%, roughly about 4% of all vapors in Australia, but that's who the black market love. They love them. Love them to come in. There's no worries, no discrimination in a black market vaping outlet or a vape shop. There is some discrimination in standard vaping specialists, and unfortunately have been forced to close down because these other scallywags, if you like, feel like an old person saying that word, haven't been enforced. So it's obviously knocked out the legitimate players. This new deal with the Labor and the Greens isn't going to help that. Isn't going to help that one iota. Let me scroll down and see what else you guys have got to say there in the chat. Graham says the negativity towards vaping and vapors comes out of ignorance, negligence, or corruption. Either way, it's not good news for the general population. Yeah, look, absolutely. And the government have really got to take some responsibility with that. Now, I've uncovered it and I've exposed it, and you'll see a video on this channel. It's bright red. It's got a bright red card. It's not an easy one to miss. It only goes for a couple of minutes, and it fully shows and outlines the way the government and their paid non-government organisations have literally gone out and targeted our youth and told our youth in our school system how to buy vapes, where to buy vapes, and more, where they just didn't need to have this information. Now, that was all pushed through the school system, a good 3 years ago. And what do you know? They kept on pushing. Don't vape, kids. But of course, don't means give it a go when you're that age. And they're not totally stupid. They do understand. Most of them do understand it's safer than smoking. But with bad government misinformation, we now know, and we've seen some information come forward in recent weeks, that there's some youths out there that honestly believe that smoking is safer than vaping. And instead of vaping, which they probably should have started of in the first place, unless they were sort of smoking and trying to find a pathway off, I guess, is that they're now returning to smoking, which is absolutely dreadful. And which kind of brings me to the next point, that part of this deal is that the only cohort or the only age group that will be subject to getting a prescription will be those smokers who are under the age of 18. So they're the only, if you're under the age of 18, you want to get a vape from a chemist, you have to get a prescription. I don't know. There's a few of us who try and be optimistic about these things and say, hey, look, this is at least a start, maybe in the right direction. But no, I think this is just another absolute balls up to be polite about it by this government. I think that they haven't consulted with the chemists. They haven't consulted with the Pharmacy Guild of Australia. They have done a knee-jerk decision because they have gone out to the public. They've sold them a lot of misinformation regarding vaping. And, you can't go out to the public and say, hey, vaping is this, vaping is bad, it's got nail polish remover and all the rest of the other bullshit exaggerated claims in it 1 second, oh, it's no good, and then turn around and say, oh no, it's okay, it's therapeutic. You don't even need a prescription for it. We've done a deal with the Greens and you get it from the chemist. It's either one or the other. What will it be? Is it therapeutic? Well, it's not approved therapeutic. So is it a consumer product or is it a therapeutic product? Because you can't have one or the other. Not for this long. No one has applied, not once. And that I understand at least, other than Philip Morris with the IQOS, for a vaping product. And an IQOS really isn't a vaping product, it's a heat not burn. But it hasn't applied for a vaping product to be approved with the TGA as a therapeutic product. It has the benefits like a low sugar Coke. Now, where are we going now? I mean, look, I was just speaking to my partner earlier, and they're looking at applying 20% taxes. 20% taxes on sugared drinks. To try and prevent diabetes. This is just starting to get a little bit dystopian, very draconian, and out of control. Welcome your thoughts on what you think. Um, Hi, Salty, and hi, can't believe I just found you. No worries at all, we flipping good stuff. Um, Look, I didn't want to hold you guys for too long. I didn't want to make this too long a video, but I did want to give you guys an update. I thought I really, really owed you that. Maybe I didn't, but I felt I did. So, with that said, I think I've covered what I can. Um, there's no point in me dragging this stream out and sharing all the news articles. It's not hard to find, just simply typing vaping Australia news and then using the tools button, and in the past 24 hours you will see that all the major media have hopped on this deal, or at least hopped on the story about this deal with the Greens, with the Labor Party, that are expected to carry out tomorrow. Now, again, for those who may have missed my apology earlier, although maybe apologies weren't needed or required, I'm still offering it. I'm really, really sorry that the best information I had was that they would be voting on this today, and obviously they had other ideas, and a lot of you wonderful people come and join the stream. 4.5 hours we patiently waited for no result. Now, how does that make things look for tomorrow? Look, guys, uh, as I said earlier at the top, I spoke to one of the coalition senators. Actually, while I think of it, I will mention this because I don't think I mentioned this earlier. What, uh, what he mentioned was that the coalition, meaning the Nationals and the Liberals, will be meeting for having a cabinet meeting tomorrow. It might be too much information. I probably shouldn't be giving that out. Nonetheless, they will be. Too late. Basically to form policy, and to present to the Australian public and Australian vapers, and to let us know where they are going to go forward with this. Now, I know that the Nationals, and many of us may know that the National Party have been pro-vaping, or at least pro-vaping sensible risk proportionate regulation, if you like, for a long time. Liberals have been a little bit hit and miss, I guess, as a party, but on the whole, I know like James Patterson, Sharma, even Dutton, and those type of Liberals have been on side with vaping, and understand its merits, and why it's important to have it available as a risk proportionate policy. But clearly, we're not getting risk proportionate policy yet. So hopefully, something will come out of that coalition meeting tomorrow. Now, also tomorrow, of course, they are going to vote on this. What will happen looks like it's already pretty much decided. I don't know. I think that this whole thing needs to be scrapped. Quite frankly, it's a mess. It's a shit show. There is clearly a lack of thought and integrity gone into this whole shit show of a bill. I think from the Senate committee all the way through to deals being done with the Greens, to pharmacies being involved or being forced to be involved when they don't want to be, to vapors not being heard, not having their submissions to the inquiry published. I think that this thing needs to be scrapped and started again. I would go as far as saying there needs to be a proper judicial inquiry in regards to how the hell did it come to this and become so wrong. We need to hurry the hell up and get this thing regulated properly and sensibly. I honestly think they're better off taking 2 steps back to take 10 steps forward. And I'll be I'm suggesting that they should go back to the personal importation scheme. I'm not suggesting for a minute that they shouldn't have the disposables or the dispos banned at the border. I think we need to do what we can do to counteract the black market. I think we need to do what we can do to protect the legitimate vape specialist stores. Not that there's many left now. I think we need to do what we can do to, I think, as a government, I think, as Australians, there are fair income small business owners that have gone belly up. In some instances, they are facing bankruptcy. It's that serious. These small businesses, remember, small businesses, equity on homes, leases, staff, forced to close. Not good. So I think our government owe it to those vape specialists who have been pushed into those situations, particularly through a lack of enforcement of the black market, deserve real compensation. Real compensation. But that's down the track. That is down the track, I think. But I honestly think that they should scrap the whole thing and put us back to where we were at the beginning of the year, maybe with the exception of the dispos. Find an environmental way and an environmental policy and some bins for the disposables if we must have them. But in my opinion, I just don't think we need them even for the newer vapor. Things have come down that much in price that honestly, I think you can get a refillable pod mass manufactured pretty easily and out to retail under $15 these days, thereabouts. So yeah, just as a basic trial model, there's no worse than any of the pharmacy vapes, I can tell you. But that's where I stand. Where do you stand? What do you think? I know a lot of you are probably thinking, well, what can we do? Well, it doesn't matter where we stand. Well, it does. Absolutely, it does. Our stories, the way we quit, um, the experiences we've had, the benefits we've enjoyed by becoming smoke free, they matter. They matter a lot. That is everything. If anybody heard earlier on the earlier stream, there was a Liberal senator basically reading out the story of a disabled person in the Senate that was very, very tug on heartstrings. Nearly put you in tears if you had heard it. That's important. Not everybody's got that story, but everybody's story matters more than you might think. We need to keep sharing those stories. We need to keep sharing them far and wide. We need to keep sending those to our politicians, regardless of how things go tomorrow. Okay? Um, we need to be involved. Guys, I've kicked off this initiative called Alive. Let's Australia, let's improve vaping advocacy. There will be a new YouTube channel. I've actually already put it up. There is a Facebook group, but you can't find it or get into it unless I invite you. There is a Twitter or an X page for at live at the figure 4 all. Look that up and then DM me. If you really want to get involved, if you really want to make a difference to what the hell is going on, whether you've got 10 minutes spare a week or whether you've got 10 hours spare a week, it doesn't matter. We're all here to help and we all need to be a part of a movement that we can really make a difference with. Vaping consumers haven't really been represented in a massive way. Properly, I think, for a long time. We've had a few tries here and there, a few people trying, which is awesome. But the main thing is with the Alive movement, as being a movement, we all remain independent. We all choose what to do, how to do it. We're not told how to do it. We're just a collaborative where we can join together in some company, share and exchange some ideas, collaborate some information, maybe create some joint activities that are gonna be positive. Already had a few basic ones, just a few people telling their story, photos up on Instagram and that type of thing. you know, putting in your ideas and input so that way collaboratively we can all make a difference. And we, more importantly, we let these politicians know that we do matter, you know, because we bloody do. And that we're not going to be ignored anymore. We can't be just have our submissions just left behind because they didn't like it or there was too many. Oh no, part of some movement. No bullshit. This is the beauty of having a movement is that you get to act independently under your own name, not 1,000 names under one name. See what I mean? Pretty wild, right? Got a Discord, got all sorts of fun things happening. If you're interested in that, I want to hear from you. Um, DM me on Facebook at Pipperstar. You'll find me. DM me via a live Facebook page. It's a public page, not the Facebook group. And yeah, I'll send you an invite and see how you can get involved with that. I appreciate that, Shred Zebra. Yeah, I was certainly um, I was in Hail Mary mode this afternoon. I really was, wasn't I? I was very angry, and I guess I am and still am. I share, I share the passion of you all. I share the passion that we just want to live our lives smoke free. We just want to be able to help. Like, because there's no other time in history where we've got the opportunity to help 20,000 people or to help prevent 20,000 people from dying from smoking each year. You know, it's un-Australian to let our fellow Australians fall in such a bad manner when they don't have to. So yeah, I guess I certainly did find another gear towards the end of that stream this afternoon, and I just had that information in my head and the frustration of the day, and I appreciate everybody contacting the senators. It matters, believe you me. Even if they push through this shit show version 1.4 or whatever it is tomorrow, it still matters because see, if we made that phone call, and even if it wasn't the senator on the end, even if it was the girl in the office for that senator, you've, you've sown a seed. You've sown a seed. I mean, come on. If someone's called you in your workplace or called you about such a passionate issue, listening to someone tell a real passionate story, you remember those type of things, they sit with you. And that's about making a change, making a difference. That's about educating people about vaping. And that's why I this alive movement, we're gonna get things cranking shortly. So stand by, don't stand by. Um, be a part of it, whatever. But we're going to make a difference. Australia, let's improve vaping education. Quickly before I go, I want to um, check a couple of comments that I may have missed. Um, Dave says yes, Pippa, whole thing is a farce. Needs to be an immediate independent public inquiry. I agree. This is quickly turning into the largest class action lawsuit in Australian history. I can only hope so. Um, yeah, the legal side of it is just, yeah. Vape stores have got the best chance, I think. Ash Blackwell, hi, how are you? 100% would support going back to the personal importation scheme until they can figure out how to actually do it sensibly. Compensation for the stores too. Yes, Ash. High fives. I'm with you. 100%. Yes. Salty flipping. Any topside jewels? What? Oh dear. I can't even say how much I've got in stock. There still is a few dubious things about this bill as far as how much you're able to keep in stock. From what I do understand from part of the deal done with the Greens, with Labor, is that there should be no um, laws that come in and penalise you for the stock that you already had. Um, but yeah, you're just not allowed to still have a retail quantity. If that's what you're intending to retail, you've got to try and show that you're not trying to retail. So for those who've got quite a collection, they've got a lot of cellophane on top of your brand new RDAs or mods or not or whatnot in a drawer. Undo the cellophane, guys. Undo the cellophane. Take that advice or not. Um, yeah, they may win a battle or two, but we win the war. Absolutely. I 100% agree. Um, yeah, Jackie, look, I totally understand. Um, it is rather depressing. I don't keep up to date with this because it really smites my head, and I can 100% concur with that. Um, it is important, I think, with any vaping advocacy, particularly in Australia. It's tough. It's really tough. It's the toughest area to try and advocate for vaping anywhere in the world, I believe. Um, Until I'm proven otherwise, I think it's tough. It really is. And, it is important. And that's one thing I do like about this Alive group that we're building. We are a sense of community already. Um, there's a really, really good community. We meet over on Discord, and we've really got each other's backs, and we'll look out for each other and support each other. And we're all at different levels. We're such a diverse bunch, and that's what's important. I think to be diverse and to be proud of who you are, no matter what color you are, race, gender, creed, don't care. Don't care. As long as you're a vapor, you want to remain smoke free and and you believe that we're getting a raw deal and you can do anything from reply to a post that has incorrect information where you've got a network where you can get some correct information at your fingertips fast and you can reply to it, you know, that's what I'm talking about. Might only just be 5-10 minutes of doing that a week to, maybe coming up with a post or a video idea or something like that if you're that way inclined or talented, um, or any other fantastic ideas. So, but we also are a community where, more importantly, got each other's backs. That we understand that some people just need some time out. It's very, very important that we just allow that for ourselves. I think, in particularly in this space. I was going to say something before I left, and I don't know what. But anyway, yes, this is what it was. Tomorrow, guys. So, um, I haven't put up the live stream thing, um, link or whatever in the chat yet. I'll try and put it around the usual social medias, in the morning. Um, what time could it be? I think realistically, the indicators that I've got is it could be around midday, but it could be earlier. So look, I may be live as early as 10 o'clock, but again, just check in, stay subscribed, make sure you click that bell. That way, you get notified when I do go live, um, and we can sort of see how things maybe unfold a little bit clearer. But look, nonetheless, guys and girls, I just really wanted to make sure that did this little live just to keep you wonderful people updated with the best that I can and the best information I can, and it is literally changing by the minute. So follow Alive on Twitter, follow at Live Pippers on Twitter, follow Live Movements. Follow a Live Vaping Movement on Instagram. Follow a Live uh, Advocacy Movement on Facebook page. Don't be shy, get in touch. We're all here to help each other and to remain alive, you know, and educate and inspire others to remain smoke free. Um, yeah, I think that is about the best we can do. And saying all that, thank you once again for joining me. I love you all. Till tomorrow, I guess, or till next time. Stay beautiful. Or be beautiful at it. All right. Me out of here for now. Thanks for joining us once again. Take care. Be good to somebody. All right. Where do we go? We go this way.